Have we had any callers yet? Like, is there anybody?
No, nothing yet.
Come on, this is a hot topic.
It's a hot topic, man. We got great guests. Like, I don't understand.
we're the
Man.
best
We
guests
need some
ever.
callers.
Want me to step outside and call?
Maybe it's because we're covering everything so well.
Yeah,
that
we're
have
too
nothing
good.
to ask. Our questions are too good.
We're all like, okay, can't ask anything.
Yeah. Welcome back to Let's Talk London. I'm your host, Stuart Goodman. I'm joined by my co-host here, Lindsay Roche. Today we're taking a deeper look into what it's really like to be a teen mom. Now, both of the moms that we have here in studio, Jess and Jen, aren't teens at the moment, but they were when they had both of their children. And in this segment, we're going to talk about delivery day and what that was like.
So I just want to take a step back from that. But Jess, how did you prepare for this moment and to finally be a parent?
The Milk Slugs Health Meeting actually helped out a lot. They had a course for all the younger moms, and they kind of went through everything for you, like how to make baby food, what to expect during delivery. So that happened, I think, about once a month, and then the last 2 weeks ago, once every 2 weeks, and that helped me out a lot. It really put everything a bit more like at ease. I was a bit more prepared before I had to do everything.
So did that help it, sink in to the fact that you were going to, deliver this baby, and there's really no turning back from that?
Yeah, definitely. I made sure I was very prepared. Like, I read all the books, I went to the classes, if I had a question, I was always researching things. Like, I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing, not getting myself into, but that I was prepared for what was about to happen.
Right, and what about you, Jen?
To prepare, I didn't so much do any classes, but I read from cover to end every single baby book that is out there, and that's how I prepared. But I think if you ask any mom, you can't really be 100% prepared when your child comes out. Like, after your child comes out, it becomes just maternal instincts almost, and just almost everything that I read in those books is like, I didn't really follow it. I just followed my own instincts, so there's really no way to be 100% prepared, but it definitely puts your mind at ease when you read books and go to classes.
So what about like the sinking in feeling? Like you were talking about how even it doesn't really wasn't real until you actually had the baby and you were looking at it.
No. I don't think there was anything during my pregnancy that could have made it sink in. I don't know what it was. There's just something about just being in the whole denial about the whole thing. I don't know. But it wasn't like a negative denial. It's not that I didn't want the child. It was just it was so surreal to me, and so just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
And Jess, we could start with you. What were you expecting mothership to be like? I mean, you watch the shows on TV, like 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom. Were you expecting it to be anything like that, or did you get any tips from your parents as to what you think?
Yeah, I definitely did. One of my really, really good friends, she had just had a baby too when I was pregnant, and so I was over with her and I kind of would take it in and see what she was going through, and I talked to my parents a lot. I knew that I wouldn't exactly know what was going on, but I did try to kind of get an idea, at least.
What about you, Jen? What was your thought process there?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Well, what were you expecting to be a mother like? Were you scared?
I'm definitely scared, and I feel like whenever you go and ask anybody about being a parent, like even an older parent, younger parent, they only come up with these horror stories about poop and puke and sleepless nights, and so you're scared. You think, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna sleep. I'm never, I'm gonna get poop in my face or crazy stuff like that. So definitely worried about that because you get these horror stories, but what I was expecting, I don't think I was really expecting much. I hear these stories and worry about it, but I don't think I was really expecting a whole lot. I was just kind of when it happens, and just wing it.
So what were the differences between what you thought it would be like, Jess, and what actually was? Was it a lot easier than what you thought it was, or was it a lot more difficult being a young mother?
It was a lot easier. A lot of people really made it out to be something horrible. Like every time I talk to someone, like, oh, well, you just wait. Their child's not going to do nothing but cry. And when I took her home and I actually spent time with her, and she slept all the time. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting her to be crying every 2 hours, but she was like overall. I was expecting a lot worse. To be honest.
So now that we're like home from the hospital, I must ask. We'll start with Jen. What was it like changing the first poopy diaper?
I don't necessarily remember the very first diaper, but I can definitely say it probably wasn't a pleasant thing because I've never changed a diaper before in my life until this point. And I mean, when a baby first comes out of the hospital, poop is just something. It doesn't even look like poop, to be honest. So you see this coming out of your child, and you're like, oh, like how could something so cute produce something so rank? And I don't know. It's just definitely not a pleasant thing for sure. It definitely was not pleasant.
So did all that reading prepare you then, or was it like out the window?
They kind of prepare you, but I think seeing it and smelling it and having to clean it is something completely different than reading it in a book.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Jess?
I have siblings, so I've changed other diapers before, but it's definitely different when it's your own and it's a newborn. It's very gross, and it's always very different too by what they're eating and stuff, right? So that's kind of so it's always gross.
And what about the first 5 a.m. crying? What about that?
It was awful. My daughter, she was colic, so she was up and down and crying hysterically for no reason. So it was. Yeah, it was a lot to take into. I had to really look into it to find out why it was like that when she did wake up.
What about you, Jo?
For me, I was, in the beginning, I was trying to breastfeed. So the first week, I really didn't sleep a lot, and either did my son. So he was up about every hour and a half in the middle of the night. But honestly, it wasn't that awful having to wake up for your child. I don't know. It's something about how cute they are, and it's just totally worth it to wake up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. It doesn't even matter.
Well, that leads us to another break. In our next segment, we're going to talk about social life that our young mothers went through. And again, if you have